Think you know the wild. Think again, because today, we're tearing apart some of the most believed wildlife myths that have fooled millions, including experts. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where curiosity meets the wild and facts destroy fiction. Today's countdown is going to change the way you see nature forever, because we're breaking down 9 of the most popular, most persistent, and most unbelievable wildlife myths that almost everyone gets wrong. Some of these myths came from movies, some came from old stories, and some came from generations of people repeating things without ever checking if they were true. But today, we're fixing that with science, real wildlife behavior, and a whole lot of weight. What? So buckle up, smash the like button if you love learning the truth about nature, and get ready, because we're diving straight into the countdown. Number 9. Sharks can smell a drop of blood. From miles away you've heard it, you've seen it in movies, you've probably imagined it while swimming at the beach. The idea that one tiny drop of blood turns a shark into a homing missile heading straight for you. But here's the truth. This superpower is massively exaggerated. Sharks do have incredible noses. Some species can detect a single drop of blood in tens of millions of parts of water. But that detection happens when the drop is near their sensory organs, not miles away like Hollywood wants you to think. Let's break this one down. Myth setup. Sharks are bloodhounds of the sea, detecting a single drop from across the ocean. Reality check. Their detection range is usually measured in meters, not miles. Currents, water temperature, and water density affect scent travel. If the ocean is turbulent, that drop of blood is dissipated instantly. Why people believe this MYTH movie's love drama, and Jaws didn't help. But the truth is, sharks aren't patrolling miles away waiting for a microscopic scent signal. They're using a combination of smell, hearing, and electroreception to locate prey, and even then, they aren't mindless predators. The real shocker: many sharks are more curious about unusual splashes or movements than tiny chemical traces. Smart takeaway: sharks have powerful senses, but they're not mythical ocean blood detectors. You're more likely to attract them by acting like erratic prey than from a tiny cut on your toe. Number 8. Elephants are terrified of mice. This one's been repeated since the early days of cartoons. And it always goes the same way. A giant elephant sees a small mouse, panics, jumps, trumpets, and causes chaos. But is it true? Reality: elephants aren't inherently afraid of mice. Not as a species, not as a behavior, not even as an instinct. So why does this myth exist? Reason 1. Startle reflex. Elephants are cautious animals. If they don't expect something tiny to move near their feet, yes, they may react, just like you would if something small suddenly darted by your shoe. This isn't fear, it's surprise. Reason 2. Cartoon drama. When it's funny to imagine a creature weighing 6 tons being terrified of something weighing 20 grams. It's also completely invented. Reason 3. Misinterpreted. Bhovio. Our elephants avoid stepping on animals, not because they're scared, but because they're empathetic and careful. Fun fact: studies show elephants show no avoidance behavior around mice during routine interactions. If anything, they're more cautious of bees, tiny, buzzing, painful bees, which leads us to a surprising twist. A truth people don't know: elephants are afraid of bee swarms. Like definitely afraid. Bees can injure the sensitive skin around their eyes and trunk. So elephants developed a real defensive reaction to buzzing sounds. Smart takeaway: elephants aren't scared of mice. They're scared of things that can actually hurt them, like bees. Number 7. Bats are blind. This myth is one of the most widespread, and honestly, it makes zero sense. People love repeating it, but the truth is, bats are not blind, not even close. In fact, many species have excellent eyesight. Let's break it down. Why the myth? Because bats use echolocation, people assumed they must be blind. After all, why see when you can sonar? But echolocation isn't a replacement for vision. It's a bonus superpower. Think of it like having night vision goggles and regular eyes. The scientific reality: most bats use both vision and echolocation together. Fruit bats, also called megabats, have large, well-developed eyes and rely heavily on vision, especially for daytime movement. Some can even see in low light color, something humans can't. The coolest part: bats use echolocation for close-range precision, and their eyes for long-range navigation. This makes them insanely efficient hunters and travelers. Why this myth makes him stute? When people believe bats are blind, they underestimate how complex and intelligent these animals truly are. Smart takeaway: echolocation didn't replace bat vision, it supercharged it. They're not blind, they are basically flying multi-sensor navigation machines. Number 6. Touching a baby bird makes the mother abandon it. You've definitely heard this one. As a kid, someone probably told you, don't touch that baby bird. If you do, the mother will smell you and never come back. Sounds dramatic? Sounds tragic. Sounds like a wildlife PSA, but guess what? It's completely false. The truth? Most birds don't even have a strong sense of smell. And the few that do, they still don't reject their young because a human touched them. Bird parents are incredibly committed to their babies. Their instinct is to protect, not abandoned. So where did this myth come from? Reason 1. Overprotective high-maintenance people wanted kids to stop interfering with wildlife, so they made up a scary consequence. Reason 2. Misunderstood animal behavior, sometimes mother birds leave the nest temporarily to let food digest or avoid drawing predator attention. People interpreted this as abandonment. Reason 3. Fear of human scent. Movies and stories exaggerate the idea that animals respond strongly to human scent. But birds? Not really. The real risk, while touching a baby bird won't make the mother abandon it. You can injure the baby if you're not careful, or place it somewhere unsafe. The best move. If you find a fallen chick that's featherless, gently put it back in the nest. If it's already feathered, chances are it's learning to fly. Leave it alone and let the parents do their job. Smart takeaway. Human scent doesn't trigger bird-parent abandonment. Birds don't think like that, and they don't have noses powerful enough to care. Number 5. Goldfish have a 3-second memory. This myth has survived decades, and it's one of the most disrespectful things ever said about an animal, because goldfish, they're way smarter than people think. The truth, goldfish don't have a 3-second memory. They have a memory that lasts months, and sometimes even longer. Research fact. Goldfish can recognize patterns, colors, faces, routines, and even the people who feed them, they can be trained too. Navigate mazes, push levers, distinguish shapes, perform simple tricks, and yes, remember tasks well beyond 3 seconds. So where did the myth come from? Probably because people kept goldfish in tiny bowls with nothing stimulating in them. If you live in a glass prison with no enrichment, no wonder people think you're simple. But in reality, goldfish have cognitive abilities similar to many small mammals. They can recognize environmental changes instantly and learn from experience. Cool fact, researchers have trained goldfish to return to specific locations at specific times, showing they can even understand time-based routines. Smart takeaway, goldfish are intelligent, memory-rich creatures. They're not 3-second idiots. They're underrated thinkers. Number 4. Porcupines can shoot their quills. This one is dramatic, action, and totally false. You've probably seen cartoons or movies where porcupines fire quills at predators like living spiky cannons. But in reality, porcupines cannot shoot anything, not even a millimeter. Let's break this down. What actually happens? Porcupine quills detach on contact. They don't launch, they don't fly, they don't eject. You have to touch the porcupine or get too close for the quills to embed. Why people get confused when a predator bumps into a porcupine. Quills detach easily. It looks like the quills were fired, but that's just clever evolution. The real magic. Porcupine quills are designed with microscopic barbs. Once they enter flesh, they expand and dig deeper. That's what makes them hard to remove. Not the shooting, but the structure. The cool part, some quills even have antibiotic properties to reduce infection if another porcupine gets poked during mating or social interactions. Nature, thoughtful and terrifying at the same time. Smart takeaway. Porcupines don't shoot quills. They defend themselves through contact, not ranged attacks. High-energy transition web already smashed 6 huge wildlife myths. But the next 3 are the biggest, boldest, and most widely believed myths on the entire list. You've definitely heard them. You've probably repeated them. And today, we're finally correcting them.